Hi, good afternoon. My voice clear or not? Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay, 15 to 19 minutes. Any background noise from your side? No. All right. Can you tell me which slide we stopped last week? If you still remember, let me scroll down. We stop at the center, about 40, 50. Yeah, we stop here. So we start with percent. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Good. No background noise, right? My fan not too noisy, right?
No.
No. All right. Good. Good afternoon, three of you. Let me start recording. Last week we did learn a little bit on a botnet. Can you still remember what is that? Do you still remember what is bot? What is a zombie? Do you still remember? Give me some keywords. What is bot? What is a botnet? Zombie. Can you give me some keywords? Okay, Pharaoh, malware, yes, correct. It's a type of a malware. Group, yes, correct. Well done. Yeah? Noel, it's a group of infected computer, botnet. Yeah? Kelvin, zombie just infected computer used by DDoS, yes. All right, thank you for your feedback here. So last week we learned about it. So this week we look at slide number 52. So we have to finish this chapter, yeah, this today. So I will go a bit faster. We have about 50 slides. Please stop me if I'm too fast. So basically, when attending this class, you just need to listen. Okay, you just need to listen. I will summarize each chapter here, each topic here. So attack agent bots take over another internet attached computer and uses the computer to launch or manage attack. So from here we know that the affected computer has no idea their computer has been used to launch the attack to other network. So let's look at robot network combination is a botnet, collections of bots capable of adding in coordinated manner. So this one is clear, yeah? Let me look at the following. Distributed attack. So this kind of attacker can consist of the listing there. So DDoS, spamming, sniffing, key login, spread new malware, BHO attack. I will go through one by one. In the following slide, they have they explain one by one like this. So look at the image here. The attacker handle botnets. So this kind of no nowadays network is spam up to the world. So sometimes it's quite difficult for the law enforcement to track those kind of malware attacks. So we look at the next category here. The Okay, this is an example given. So collections of internet connected devices affected by malware where the hacker might control the devices. So each agent will react based on the remote control by the attacker. Some of the slide is actually repeated here. So next one, we look at the Zeus. Zeus is a type of a Trojan horse. Do you remember what is Trojan horse? The software that hides in the system, and some of it very clever. They will just rename it like they are the system file name. So Zeus, they call it Zeus Trojan, or in short, they call it Zbot, ZBOT. Okay, Zbot. So you look at the sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. Malware coder write malicious software to exploit. After that, victim infected, banking credential siphon, hacker retrieve banking credentials, remote access, and then the last one, hacker log in as they are the victims. They are the authorized person. After that, money will be transferred to other organizations. Um, this one Trojan horse, as I mentioned just now, they are very clever. They will try to rename them as they are the system file name, like they are the genuine file in the system. So in this case, it's actually malware that can be grant access to the system as a third party because of the cleverness of a Trojan horse. So it has a two-way to infect our computer with a Trojan horse. First matter, because people might think, how does our computer can be infected by the Trojan horse? The most general example is through messages or downloading file. So here, in general, the most popular way in spreading the Trojan horse is using spam messages. Okay, as mentioned here, yeah, forward spam. Okay, so let me explain here. So through the spam messages, spam mean they send a lot of email. They have no idea who is the recipient. They can use this botnet to send out the spam emails. And then could be also they are posting to the social media. That's why sometimes we would say we have to be careful when we are accessing the social media resources. So hacker, they might try to trick a percentage of the users into means when the user trying to click on the link that appear in the mail, in the spam email. After that, this when they click in, the user might be redirected to the page on the malicious sites. So means based on the link in the spam mail. So what is the best way to avoid spam mail? Just ignore it, okay, or just delete. Never ever trying to open up the spam mail. Sometimes we don't know that is spam mail, but we attracted with the title. So have to take note. If you not recognize who is the sender, and also the web page address looks suspicious, don't proceed. Okay. So this Zeus Trojan, right? They're able to gain access to victims' email or even their social account, victim social media accounts, sending out even more messages that look legitimate where might trap the victim to proceed. Okay, so that's the first, the most common through spam messages. Second way, how this Zeus Trojan works, they through download file from internet. So this one novel experience, right? But touch wood, I hope that is not Trojan horse. Even you are downloading, even we thought we are downloading from legitimate, from the true or trustworthy website. Look at the name of the address, no problem. Okay. Uh, and then we look at the content, also no problem. We look at the year at the bottom, also no problem. But do you know that there's many way attacker that doing their best to imitate the real website. Let's say the true website is zero something name, but they will replace a zero maybe to O, so look like similar. Okay. Another one, let me see. Once the Zeus Trojan get to the computer system, the botnet, it will join the Zeus botnet via our devices. So through our devices, they can, of course, they will access and get those informations or steal information. Also use our devices to as phishing and other activity online. Phishing here means they're trying to use a trap like imitate link through the email, which sounds like urgent. Okay, sounds like urgent, then where we have to click on the link. So it is also similar to the first common spam mail that we are mentioned about. So we look at the next one. Okay, DDoS. So among the most difficult to completely eliminate because they are required so little effort to execute. Clear, right? The definition here. So this type of attack is shut down a machine, individual's victim, or could also shut down the whole network. So what is the purpose behind the DDoS is they want to make the machine or the system or the network to be inaccessible. Okay, the common example that I always give you is about the online shopping platform, right? They will attack, they will send a lot of requests to the network where might cause the authorized user, not say authorized, means a potential customer who trying to access the website will be refused. So slowly and soon, when our access being rejected, slowly and soon the customer will just not say run away, but they will stop their accessing and they will visit another site, right? So this DDoS, this one denial of service attack might accomplish the action by keyword is here. They will try to flood the target with traffic means send a lot bundle, send a lot of messages and make it congested or even make it a crash to the system. Right? So some students might ask, Miss, we did learn DOS, and also DDoS, distributed denial of service. So what's the difference between these two? Do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between DOS and a DDoS?
No.
Okay, let me share with you a little bit on this. So DOS, denial of service, is a single system target to the victim system. For distribution, denial of service is a multiple system attack. Using multiple system attack to one victim system or to numbers of victim system. So because of the denial of service, DOS is single system attack. DDoS is multiple system attack. So DOS will be easier to identify compared to a DDoS. For the DOS, victim personal computer is loaded from the package of data sent from single location. That's why we can, when we found the sender, then we can solve if DOS, if a denial of service, because the package sent, the packages sent from single location. But for distributed denial of service, packages sent from multiple location. Okay, clear, yeah? Sent from multiple locations, so difficult to trace compared to DOS. And also it's difficult to block the attack because the package sending from different multiple device and also from multiple location. Okay, so type of DDoS include the following: ping of death, look like the name, ping until death. So what does this mean? From the name we can guess. We can guess. So the attacker might trying to disrupt the machine or the network by sending the package which is larger than maximum allowable size. Do you understand? Sending larger packet size than what is allowed. That's why causing the machine freeze or crash. Okay. I give you examples here. Let's say the ping package typically is about 56 byte in size, or as large, paling besar, as large about 65,000 bytes. That's it. But the attacker might trying to send a very large ping package, which is more than this size. Okay, more than the size allowance. So towards the end might cause the network being crashed out or freeze because too much package need to be received, right? So for the Smurf attack, do you ever heard this Smurf attack? Smurf, not the cartoon. Smurf attack, nice name. Smurf attack is the similar like the ping of death, but they are targeting to send the internet control message protocol messages. Protocol, they have different types, like IP or ICMP. So Smurf attack is sending large number of ICMP packets. Okay, packages, no, packets. So they are sending the ICMP. ICMP stand for Internet Control Message Protocol, with the intention to spoof the IP receiver, respond to receive a packet, and then send the response to spoof resources. So most devices on the network will usually by the default, when you receive something, when you receive messages, of course we will reply, right? This is in general. So respond to this by sending a reply of source. The spoof victim slowly will be flooded after receiving large number of packets and cannot continue to work. So it means they keep on receive, but slowly they cannot respond to the legitimate users. So next one is about TCP sync flood attack. So sometimes we refer this one as a half open attack. Okay, the third one, yeah, sync flood attack. Sometimes we just call it half open attack. Half open attack like this. Let me give you example. The purpose behind of this half open attack, they want to make the server unavailable for the legitimate users. How? The attacker, they might keep on repeatedly sending requests, send requests again and again and again. So the attacker able to overwhelm all available ports on a targeted server machine. So this server machine full with requests. So, and the server also busy, right, when they receive a lot of requests. So causing the targeted device unable to respond to the new connection requests. Do you understand what it means? Half open attack means they are open up the connection, they receive the request. Half open, didn't close because not managed to reply to the real requests. It is called half open because leaving the insecure connection. When the connection open up to receive all kind of a request, but not managed to reply yet, only receive. So this insecure connection is actually open and available, where could be cause the computer from unauthorized access, or even can cause the server completely crash. Okay, so these three are more or less the same but slightly different. They're attacked to different protocols. Some they might sending a larger package, some they keep on sending requests, and some maybe they will look for sorry, just now let me repeat again. Just now the first one, ping of death, is something like sending larger size of a package, larger than what usually the maximum allowance size, larger than that. That's why caused the network crash. So Smurf attack, this one is talking about they are attacking the ICMP. They are attacking the Internet Control Message Protocol. It's a layer protocol, so they are targeting on this. Okay, and then the half open, they keep on receive, not managed to accept the real connection requests. But so far, exam, they never asked to explain. Okay, so no worry. A lot of definitions here. Next one. Any questions so far?
No.
No questions.
No.
Okay, next. If I talk too fast, please stop me. Then me talk too fast. Me talk too slow. So this is a mafia boy. So good, this student. 15 years old high school student. He launched a highly publicized DOS attack. But the image, the picture doesn't look like 15 years old. Okay, this one I leave it to you. Go through. If you are interested on this, you can look for more information about this mafia boy. Again, DOS attack. Prevent authorized people from using the services by using up system resources. Clear, right? This one. So two types here. Could be resource overload, or second is malformed data. Resource overload, disk space. Do you know what is bandwidth and a buffer?
Buffer.
Don't know yet. So bandwidth is a maximum amount of data transmitted over the internet in a given amount of time. Buffer here, sometimes they call it data buffer. Okay, it's a physical memory storage used to temporarily store the data before the data being moved to another place. Just like when you do printing, when you want to print document, you let's say you are in the connected network connected PC, and all the PC sharing the same printer in the office, so everyone click print. So those documents that, or those requests that haven't been accepted, what to do? Will temporarily store in the buffer first. Okay, like waiting list. Temporarily store the data before it to be executed. Or in short, this one also can refer as a temporary holding area for data. All right. Any other term here is new to you? Let me see. Maybe pink flood, we already done just now. Overloaded. All these the list there relevant to overloaded packets, or pink flood, Smurf, packet storm, UDP bombs. UDP here means user datagram protocol. Okay, so this one, as the name of flood means Panjir. So UDP bomb is actually UDP flood. They are sending the package, a lot of package, to the targeted server with the aim to overwhelming the device ability to process or response. Okay, so the firewall that protecting the targeted server can also will become exhausted because of this one UTP flooding, too much of request. So my result in the system crash. So next one, Fraggle, Fraggle. This one involves sending a large amount of spoof. Spoof mean yang not the right one. Okay, they're sending large amount of spoof user datagram protocol traffic to the routers. Okay, within the network. So this one Fraggle very similar to a Smurf attack, which uses, if a Smurf attack might use spoof ICMP traffic. Okay, if a Fraggle will on UDP traffic. So different, they are targeting to different places or different locations. So next one is a malformed data, oversized packet, ping of death mentioned in the previous slide, and then overlapping package. Examples here is a WinNAC. This WinNAC usually will only affect Microsoft Windows operating system. Unhandled data, example teardrop. Teardrop is a name. Supposed to be teardrop attack. Okay, the teardrop attack means the attacker might trying to send fragmented packets. Fragmented means piece. Instead of sending a whole complete package, they send in different portion. So when the time reach the recipient PC, the computer will combine it again. Okay, so this teardrop attack will send fragmented package to the target server, and some cases where they when they are reaching the server unable to reassemble the package. So teardrop, they keep on sending a lot in different portion. Sometimes the server cannot reassemble back the package, come back to form the original messages. And when keep on sending the portion, keep on sending the fragmented package, might cause it overloaded. All right, next one. You look at next one. Distributed denial of service, DDoS. So which one more easier to identify and solve, DOS or DDoS? Answer is
I think DOS.
Yes, correct. Because a DDoS from multiple location and multiple devices. So we look at the definition here, designed to saturate network link with the new word. Instead of fact data, they use this spurious data, which can overwhelm a link, causing legitimate traffic to be dropped. Okay, same meaning. So means they are sending a lot of requests, causing the legitimate means yang the true or the real sender might cause the legitimate traffic to be dropped, so the request cannot be accepted and a response. So let me look at any new here. This one, we have a new term here, the last one. Okay, the sub-bullet for the first paragraph, DDoS uses attack methods similar to the standard DOS, but operate on a much larger scale. Yes, much larger scales involve multiple devices and from multiple location to multiple devices again. So large scales. So they attempt to overwhelm a target. Yes, true. So we have the new term here. This one, triplet network, TFN, is a type of computer program that used to conduct the DDoS. Okay, so the other one, stage 12, that is type of a malware which used to perform the DDoS attack and usually run on a Linux and a Solaris. Next one. I think I talked too slow. Let me go through. DDoS, we look at the image here. Do you understand this image? Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Yes, huh? Okay,
Oh,
let
yeah.
me So let me go to the next one. This is the process. Good. I would like to see diagram. Diagram student more easy to understand. So scan for system to hack, and then the client system install the software. After that, agent are loaded with a remote control. Keyword is here remote control. Someone who and from the machines are controlled from remotes. Client issue command to handle that control agent in a mass attack. So scary this one, mass attack. DOS and DDoS attack mitigations. So listed here. You can do setting on a router and a firewall. Proper configurations on the router or firewall, yeah, to scan. No, not to scan. Help limit the effectiveness of the attack. Yes. So because uh, the main purpose of firewall is to avoid or block unauthorized intrusion. So by doing firewall could be hardware and software. Next one, proper configuration, still the same. And then last one, organization can implement traffic rate limiting with the service provider. So mean adjust uh, traffic rate. Do you know what is a traffic rate?
No.
Like let's say, you know what is a service provider?
Like service provider like DG Unify
Yes.
like that.
Yes, who are providing your service, internet connection service. So, uh, suppose we understand that what is the numbers of a range of transmissions. So, if we do like to identify any unusual traffic rate. So you can check out with the service provider, and then also check out your daily traffic, the rating. You have to look at any odds traffic available in your organization system. Okay, so next one, we look at the remote control policy. Which slide number are we now? Remote control policy distinguish boats from a worm. So what worm again? Worm propagate itself means replicate itself. Boats control from some central facility. What else? We look at the second paragraph here. Typical means of implementing the remote control facility is on ICR here means internet relay chat. Let me look at the definitions here. Okay, once the communication path is established between the control parties and the board, the control parties, or we call it control modules, of course, once the path established, they can activate it. So in a simple form, the control parties or the control modules, they will issue the command to the bot, means give instructions, give command to the bot, and the bot will start executing. Okay, will start executing, and they will implement based on the command given from the control modules. After that, for greater flexibility, the control modules can issue update commands that will instruct the boot to download the files from some internet location and execute it. So the boot in this later will become more general purpose tools that can be used for multiple attacks. So from here we can understand that with the remote control facility, sometimes because when the software already there in the system, in a victim system, the boot can be activated anytime. And the boot also can, after activated, the boot itself will able to perform other unauthorized actions. Let's say downloading files from the control modules, right? And then slowly the files will affect throughout the whole the victim's computer system. Okay, this is about remote control facilities. So next one, we look at keylogger and spyware. Keylogger, you look at the definition here. Capture keystroke to allow attacker to monitor information. Keystroke means the one we type through our keyboards. Do you ever heard this one before, keylogger?
Have, but not sure.
Not sure. So means whatever they capture our, when we type through keyboard, they capture the how to say it. Let me think the word keystroke. They call it capture keystroke. Yeah.
So like every time the user type it, like
Yes.
record like
Yeah.
that.
That's why in the online banking, in the online banking, you notice the password we don't use, we don't enter to our keyboards. We enter through the virtual keyboard. Do you notice that?
Yes.
To avoid this happen. So mean, yeah, to avoid this. Next one, spyware. Mm, let me explain a little bit that I missed out. Yeah, the key locker here. The attacker monitor our typing. They call it keystroke, not say typing, whatever. So this would result the attacker, based on what we type, the attacker will receive a copy of all text entered through our machines. Okay, so the keyloggers will typically implement some form of filtering mechanism that can only return informations, the sensitive information such as login ID, user ID, or password. Or they also can capture which website we enter, we access. Like let's say we type shopee.com, and then we type a lot of text, keywords, those product name, those are not important. They don't want. They will only capture, could be your ID, password, and also which website they are logging in. So they can relate it. Your ID and password could be used to accessing the website info that filter up from the system. The more we know, the more we will feel scary, right? Macam-macam teknik ada. So as I mentioned, to avoid that, most of the bank, they use a virtual keyboards. by we just use our mouse to click on the virtual keyboard, or sometimes they call it graphical applets. Okay, rather than we type through our keyboards. So attacker will develop some general spyware payload. They will monitor wide range of activity on the system, including they will monitor they uh, they will monitor our history, website visited history, the contents of the activities of our activity, and then from there also the attacker might redirect the certain web page request to the bloggers, to the fake websites controlled by the attacker. Okay, and then also they might modify the data exchange between the browser and the website that we are interested on. So towards the end, whatever information that we enter to the website is actually captured by the attacker. So the popular example here again is the Zeus Trojan horse. Okay. Sorry. Spyware here, just like the name lah. Spy means after we unintentionally downloaded the file to our system, someone at the remote area can view whatever we view through our monitor. Okay, scary, yeah? Someone can view whatever we view through our monitor. That's why like the content history also are involved. Phishing. Phishing, I think I did share with you before, right? Phishing. Adakah tiada phishing? Social engineering. You try to, huh? Do you know phishing?
Oh yeah.
Yes, huh? So phishing just like the image there lah. Phishing, so like memancing. They will give you a URL. URL usually in the email or even a spam email that when you click on the link will direct you to the fake website. So what is a trick they use? They usually in the container, they will put in some words, sounds that is an urgent action that you must do immediately. Something like within 1 hour or within 15 minutes when you receive this email, if you didn't activate your account, then your account will be freeze. Sounds urgent. Okay. And then the other one, we call it spear phishing. Right hand side. This one more dangerous. Why? Recipients are carefully researched by the attacker. So mean the attacker might do research first based on who is the victim, the name. Okay, from the email they send to you, they know the name. They will say, "Hello, Mister," give you the full name, and then they know some of your information. They will design an email which is just suit to you only, rather than if a general phishing is for general public, but spear phishing they are focusing on individual attacker. Individual victims. All right. So if you want to look at the bottom there, phishing is the act of sending email and claim to be legitimate organization. So how to avoid this? Don't click the any link. Usually you have to think those authorized financial organization, they will not send you email. Somehow nowadays people seldom check email. So how they usually will send you a formal letter. Okay, take note. So those links from institute organizations, just ignore. You don't have to. If it is very urgent, they will even call also you have to think twice whether the call is true or the fake one. Up to here, this slide. Okay, phishing and spear phishing.
Hi.
Yeah. So next one, we look at the. So what is this about? Let me see. Example of phishing. The so yeah, I received this similar email in my mailbox. I have so many email nowadays, but seldom check like Yahoo or Hotmail. So your parcel was sent to your home address. What is that? It will be arrived within 3 business days. For information and tracking numbers, click on the attachment. So no, don't. No matter how nice the wording, the content, think twice. Okay, next one. Tips of awareness. A lot of guidelines for you how to avoid phishing scam. So when you look at the title, start with dear value customer. Immediately you delete. Okay. What else? Failure to respond. They use immediate action. Failure to respond, like they are urging you must do it immediately. Then you just ignore those kind of message. And the rest. Okay, this one I leave it to you. Link that are suspicious, poor grammar, and also don't forget to update your antivirus software. Farming. Do you ever heard this term, farming?
No.
So farming here, you look at the title on top. Fake web pages. Fake web pages, the name look like very similar to the genuine website. Sometimes when we not pay full attention, we might access the fake website. You look at the definition at the bottom there. Farming is a scamming practice in which a hacker install a malicious code onto a personal computer or server, misdirecting user to fraudulent or bogus mean fake website. From there, when the user entering information, those unintentionally, those content will be read by the third party. Okay, farming means we entering to the fake web pages.
So the phishing is in the email sign.
Yeah, phishing usually they will attach the link in the email. And farming, this one more dangerous. Why? When about the if we clicking the link from the email, that is definitely is phishing already because they use a hook. They're using the hook for you to click on the link. And the link, that one definitely is not the genuine website because it's phishing. But however, farming more dangerous. Why? Sometimes when we look at the address, look like no problem. So we enter to the website and you didn't notice any different, but could be cover up. I mean, the genuine website has been layer up with another, how to say, layer up where will capture the ID and password from the users. So what is a way to check? Later on, I have a slide show you a step how to check a genuine website with the SSL certificate. Later I show you. Okay. Mm, okay. Any more question? This one farming?
No.
No. The fake web pages look like the real one. Especially I did experience when I'm trying to enter the uh Maybank account website. The design is different, totally different. So if you didn't, I mean, if all the while you are seeing that design and that image, but suddenly the design change, you know that the design, hey, how come this one design like simple design, the graphical user interface like just simple like template, copy and not copy and paste, drag and drop those kind of design. So immediately when spot the difference, quickly just close it and then try to access again. Access again. Surprisingly, when access again, come back to the real website look like. I mean the display. Oops, not working. So Pharming, usually they try to play around with the name of the address. Like AOC, they will become A0C, something like this. Play around with the name of the website. Oops, cannot proceed again. Hang on. Why cannot proceed? Maybe have to ask more question on this page. Kelvin, you're so quiet. Do you clear on fishing and farming, Kelvin?
Yeah.
Yes. Doesn't want to move on. Okay. Sudah. How farming works? Look at here. From here, you will be more understand. Well, look at here. So first, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, look at the numbering there. The attacker might manipulate the host data or the DSN server. Manipulate the data in the server. Domain name server, yeah, DNS stand for. So this domain name server contain the database of the public IP addresses and their host name. So number two, when the users trying to access the bank website, www.securetoday.net, it will divert it to the fake website. You will see a little bit difference on the address there. Do you see the difference? So if the user didn't notice on the difference, definitely user might log in using the usual username and password. So this DNS server will forward the login data to the attacker, and the attacker might use this data to access the bank account in the future. So this is more dangerous than phishing. Okay? Boleh?
Okay.
Farming yung spelling.
What is that?
The spelling so.
Yeah, the spelling, and sometimes you can notice sangat sikit lain. I mean a little different only. Sometimes if we are not see it clearly, we didn't notice the differences. Like example, one and then they type L, one and L, zero and O. So the user might redirect it to the fake website that we thought there is a genuine bank website.
Yeah, so scary.
Yeah, so we have to be always alert. Yeah, I ever experienced one, the L and one change. I mean, if we are not alert on the user interface that we always see, then definitely habis lah. So we have to check the address line very carefully. Of course, we sometimes we don't do, right? If you are entering TARC, no need like just TARC.edu.my. For financial institutions, for financial purposes, that one have to take notes. All right, so this one clear. Why this Computer like farming so much, cannot proceed. Escape. So another way is, so we have to always check our account. So when the attacker receive, when they capture our touchwood, when they capture victims login data, so mean next time they will use this information to do illegal transfer. So how the victim, not only victim, everyone should always alert and check the account statement to see if any unfamiliar transfer. Okay. So later we have slide about social engineering. Oh, shall we take a break? Just now already 15 minutes, so maybe 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
2:20. Thank you. Three of you here.
Hi.
Yeah.
How about Pharaoh? Pharaoh here? Not yet. One minute for Pharaoh. Oops. He left the meeting. I guess maybe line disconnected weather. The weather going to rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you staying on Noel?
Mengkata.
Oh, Mengkata, very near to Alam Mesra.
Hi.
Kelvin?
Okay.
Okay. Where are you staying?
Huh?
Where are you staying?
Pinampang.
Pinampang. I asked you where are you staying. You say okay.
I thought
Pinampang.
I thought you wanted.
Oh. So novels. I think your place same with my area. Going to friend very soon. So next one, examples of farming. Yeah, the website look like the real, but actually not the real. It's a fake one. Next. Okay, how to protect? This one important. This is what I mentioned to know well how to protect from farming first. Check the URL of any site that asks you to provide personal information. Make sure the session begin at a non-authentic address and no additional character. Okay, so we have to make sure that www.maybank2u.com.my have to be every single digit, every single character must be correct. No additional space or character. And also make sure all the, the letter is correct. If one is one, L is L. Okay. Second, use up-to-date virus protection. And then use a legitimate internet service provider. Yes. Check the certificate. How to check the certificate? Certificate here refer to the SSL certificate, or sometimes we call it digital certificate. Sorry. SSL certificate, we will check through the address bar on top shall have a HTTPS S behind. Okay, when there is a S behind means show there is a secure website. So with SSL certificate. And also, sometimes you can see the little padlock icon at the address bar there. Okay, how to check the SSL certificate? Check the URL, HTTP, and then with the S behind to show that it is secure. Second, you look at the little padlock at the address bar. All right. So next one. And also, true, if you are using Google Chrome or Firefox, we can check the address bar. When you see the padlock icon, right, you click and then you will see the pop-up windows. You scroll down, you will see the certificate valid in the pop-up windows. You click on it, you can see the validity dates of the websites with the validate certificate there. So you can check the website lah, boleh trustable or not. But usually we just go through the first and second lah. You just check the HTTPS and padlock is enough. Block suspicious website automatically use antivirus protection. Okay, next one. Backdoor. Backdoor as the name. This is a type of malware that they will negate or bypass the normal authentication procedures to access the system. So as a result, the remote access is granted to resources within the application, such as a database or file server, and giving the perpetrators or the attacker the ability to remotely issue system command or even run the malware in the system. All right, so again, this one, trapdoor, sometimes we call backdoor, trapdoor, they are the same. They allow someone who is aware of the backdoor to gain access without going through the security access procedures. This is usually done, but also pros and cons. Sometimes, if let's say our system crash, okay, a company, a system crash, they cannot remember, they cannot access the system for maintenance, let's say. So how to do to solve it? When they want to do some changes to the system, if they can't go through the they might use backdoor to do some modification in the system for professionals user. So backdoor also could be a threat when you, even though you have your password, you have a password PC, you send for PC maintenance. If the technician, they know backdoor, so means that they can access your PC even though without your password. So they can gain access, consider gain unauthorized access. More and more we know, the more we will feel scary. How come this also can, like that also can? So nothing is safe. Next one is a rootkit. Hidden program installed to the system to maintain covered access to that system. So let me summarize this slide for you. It's a type of system that is a type of malware or is a type of program. We use program. Hidden program means we don't know the existence of this program. They will access to the system with, keyword is here, they will access to the system with the privilege as an administrator. Do you see the bullet number 3? They will access to the system as they have the privilege as an administrator. So it means that this rootkit, this might provide the access to all the functions and services of the operating system. So this rootkit might alter the host standard functionality in a malicious way. The attacker with the root access. Root mean apa? Root mean akar, right? Akar means this program is hidden in the system, lebih dalam. Not easily identified. And they also can control completely to the computer system or even make changes to the program because they are hidden in the system. They also can monitor our process. They can, what else? They also can send and receive network traffic, get backdoor access on demand since they are being installed in the system. So just like they are the authorized person, they are the administrator. So they grant the access to make changes to modify the files or programs in the system. They are hidden deep inside the PC and very hard. This is the most difficult to trace or detectable. Okay. If actually this software itself is not that harmful, but when the rootkit combine, they also hide together like worm or boot. That will be dangerous. All right. Variation, combinations. Rootkit classification based on the 6 characteristic here. So 6 characteristic for the next slide. Let me briefly share with you. Persistent here means, let me see, a rootkit can be classified using the following classification characteristic. Activate each time the system boots. So first characteristic, the rootkit will be activated each time when the system boot. So this is under persistent. The code, the rootkit code store, how to say, the rootkit, the store code, they will store in the, no, let me rephrase how to make the sentence. The rootkit usually will store the code in a persistent store, mean tempat yang lebih kurang sama, such as a registry or file system. So that's the first character of rootkit. Understand? So persistent store, usually in the register or file system. That first characteristic. When if you want to identify, so you go to this persistent store. So second, memory space here means second characteristics of a rootkit has no persistent code, mean terbalik compared to the first one. So therefore, when after reboot, cannot survive. Because it's only in the memory, random access memory. When a reboot, it is gone. So harder to detect. Yeah, correct. Harder to detect compared to the first characteristics. User modes. So user mode, let me take a look. Okay, look at this one. Look at the next. The definition is on the next slide. So user mode here means when look at the example given in the next slide here. User mode, when an applications perform a directory listing, the return result not include entry identifying the file associated with the rootkit. Yes, correct. Do you clear on this one, user mode? The result will not include entry identifying the file associated with the rootkit. That one, user mode, okay? You compare the user mode and the kernel mode. Kernel mode.
Kernel is more deeper, right? More hardware.
Yes, kernel will, the rootkit will hide the presence, how to say, they hide, they hide deeply, but they will remove from the kernel list. The activity will remove from the kernel list, so means very hard to trace. Virtual machine base will run in the virtual machine, okay, the next characteristic. So external mode here will run on others hardware. So outside, the malware is located outside the normal operation mode of the targeted system. The BIOS or system management mode where it can directly access the hardware. So hardware are those included those peripherals, which is outside the system unit, could also be attacked. System call. I need to speed up a bit. Now it's 2:35. So what is this about? Here, system call table modification. What do you understand by this? Do you understand the diagram here? There are different, the right hand side or the top. So program operating, thank you for your feedback. So program operating at the user level interact with the kernel through system call. These system call are the primary target of the kernel level rootkit. So as examples on how the rootkit operate, you look at the diagram there. We look at the implementations of the system call. This one in Linux. So each call assigned with a unique SYSCALL. Do you see the system call here? System call number. And then when the user mode process execute the system call, the process refer to the system call by the number. But the kernel maintain a system call table with one entry per system call routine. Each entry contain a pointer to the corresponding routine. And then they will change the index. The most important here after this one, the kernel level rootkit, they might change the index. I conclude it to one short sentence. So this rootkit, my kernel level rootkit might change the content, okay, for the index, in the system call here. System call index. Okay, system call table. Index in the system call table. They will modify the call table. You can see a left-hand side and right-hand side. Right-hand side has been modified. They modify the addresses. You see, can you see the different right-hand side? Okay, they modify the table, and then also they modify also can include the overrides. And also they might redirect the reference to another location. Next one. Malware countermeasure approaches. What is the best way to avoid malware? Do not allow it get to the system in the first place. If you want to identify or remove, that will be a bit tough. So better don't allow it to get into the system by using updated malware protection. So next one, if look at the second paragraph here. If prevention fail, then technical mechanism can be used: detection, identification, and removal. So this slide talking about if we can't prevent, then we have to do the detection, identification, and remove it. Any question on this slide?
No.
Okay, next one. So one of the first countermeasures that should be employed is to ensure the system are as current as possible in order to reduce the number of vulnerability that might exploit the system. The next one, you look at the second bullet, use the appropriate access control on the applications and data stored on the system. Example, reduce the number of files that any user can access. Yes, correct. We said who is an authorized user can access to certain file. Don't open to everybody. Next one, use awareness of a training. Yes, give training to the employees to tell them inform them, train them how to protect the data, and then also make sure they know the consequences. Okay, if if the system affected by malware. Next one, we look at 4 generations of antivirus software. First generation is a simple scanner. You just check the virus signature, look at if there is any changes of the line in the program. Second generation heuristic scanner, they will look at the code block that usually associated with the virus. Look like means those code that the pattern are there. If the virus, then they have the similar code block. Third generation is a activity trap. Watches for virus based on their suspicious actions towards maybe changes to the file. Fourth generations antivirus software, antivirus package already, full feature protections, included scanning, monitoring, filtering. Some antivirus package also consist access control features. We try to block the attempts of virus who are trying to infect the files. So 1, 2, 3, 4 generation. Give me 1 minute, I drink water. So sorry, I keep on talking, but I didn't turn on the speaker. Sorry, I'm trying to slow down my volume. Don't talk too loud. Sometimes this throat can over exhausted. But please inform me if my voice too slow or too smooth. All right? Can you hear me now?
Hi.
Yeah. This generic decryption technology enable antivirus program to easily detect complex polymorphic viruses and other malware while maintaining fast scanning speeds. Do you know what is a polymorphic viruses?
Virus that keep changing.
Yes, correct, good. That always modified version. Keep on changing, yes, correct. So quite hard to detect. So executable files are run through the generic decryption scanner, which contain the following element. First one, we call it a CPU emulator. This is a type of software-based virtual computer. Virus signature scanner used to scan the target codes, looking for any malware signature. Emulations control modules used to control the executions of the target codes. So usually at the start of each emulation, the emulator will begins to interpret the instructions in the target code one at a time. If the code include the routines or the signatures of the malware, the code will be interpreted. The malware does the work for the antivirus program by exposing itself periodically. The control module interrupt implementation to scan and target code for malware signature. So in general, they might use to control the executions. Okay, control the executions of the malware. Make it short. So the last one, the most difficult design issue is determine how long each interpretation. Yes, because we don't know the malware elements that activators and also being executed. How long is a case? How long shall the scanner emulators to work on it? Next one, we look at host-based behavior blocking software. So what is this about? The behavior blocking software block potential malicious action before they have a chance to affect the system. So monitoring behavior include, look at the list there, include the behavior includes, let me think of example here. The attempt to modify the file in the system, the attempt to modify the macros in the executable files, they intend to modify the setting in the computer. They also could be initiate the network communications. So those are the behavior that usually have. So this one, behavior blocking, has a limitation actually. Look at the blue one. Because the malicious code must run on the target machine before the behavior can be identified. Of course, if haven't run, then how do we know, how do we understand the behavior, right? So the malicious code must have to be run in the target machine before we can identify the behavior of the malicious malware. So because of this, can cause harmful before can be detected or blocked since already run in the system. All right. So for example, a new item of a malware might shuffle a number of unimportant files around the hard drive before they modify the files or being blocked. So it could be quite dangerous. Before identify the file already brought some effects to the system. And not only that, sometimes could be unable to locate their file. Already exploit, cannot trace and cannot locate, so that's too tough. So it might cause a loss in terms of money, in your time, and of course might also lose the productivity of the system. Okay, next one. We look at here. Here is about perimeter scanning approaches. Next location where antivirus software is used is in organization firewall or the intrusion detection system, which is ITS. So what is firewall? As mentioned, is a type of hardware or software with the function to block unauthorized intrusions. Right? And the IDS in the first paragraph here, stand for intrusion detection system. Also could be hardware, could be software installed on the network and the host to detect and report any unauthorized intrusion. For report only, Let me see. Look at there are two approaches, right? Two approaches in monitoring. Now let me look at the content here. Okay, two type of monitoring software may be used. Can be in-crash monitor and e-crash monitor. In-crash means IN means coming. Monitoring coming access. E-crash E means exit keluar. So monitoring any exit activities. So we look at the first one, in-crash monitors. This one, they are located at the border between the enterprise network and the internet. So for the eCrash monitor, located at the eCrash point of individuals. This parameter monitoring can also assist in botnet activity by detecting abnormal traffic pattern with the abnormal or associated activities. Next one, worm counter measure. Okay, worm counter measure. So once the worm is resident on the machine, we can use antivirus software used to detect and then remove it. This is how we do it. If you cannot prevent, then we have to identify and remove it. So next one, we look at, do you understand what is the worm defense approach? Worm signature. Do you know what is a signature?
Like common.
Common, yeah, common, yes. Is actually is a continuous sequence of bytes that commonly available for certain malware lah. Just like what you mentioned, common mean macam pattern, sequence of byte. Let me see here. Filter-based worm containment. The approach is similar to the first one above, but here they are focusing on the worm content rather than the signature. So the first approach is look at the signature. The second approach is look at the content. Next one, payload classification based worm containment will examine the packet. Okay, examine the packet to check if there is any worm. Next one is a threshold random walk. Threshold random walk is an effective way to find the common behavior of a worm. Rate limiting, let me check. Rate limiting and halting, there are similarity between these two. This one example of a rate limiting, like they will limited the number of new machine in a host which can connect to the in one window at a time. And also they can limit numbers of addresses and IP addresses for a host can scan in a windows of time also. For the last one, red halting, they will block outgoing traffic. When a threshold is existing, the connection rate. Okay, when the outgoing traffic blocker is exceed the connection rate. So it's called red halting. Last one, we look at the 7 steps of hacking a network. Of course, for your understand, but not asking you to hack, okay? 7 step here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We look at step number 1. Forward analysis. So if that's the purpose to hack, so first Of course, need to understand, you get knowledge. Find out relevant information about the victim. Okay, find out relevant information, phone book, brochure, web pages. So some command use. So I leave it to you. Next one, step number 2, details of information. So second, we will listen to the data sent through between send out and send in. So the hacker usually will cross-reference the information using the vulnerability database. They look for the potential exploit, when is the time and when can do the exploit. Manipulate users and gain access. Step number 3. So you first step, you already have all the informations. And second, you know the content. Third, now you have to think how to access. So we look at here, they have two-way, social engineering or password cracking attack. Social engineering here, this is a big title, social engineering. It's a way to manipulate people inside the network to provide informations. So here, let me share with you social engineering by telephone. Hang on, I share with you a link in the chat box. Hey, Pharaoh, I just saw your message. No problem, sorry. I share with you a YouTube link. So you can, you watch it later because we don't have enough time to watch it in the class. So I share with you is about social engineering by telephones. Or should I paste it? How many minutes? How many minutes? 1 minute plus. Okay, you watch it later. How they use telephone to convince a victim to share the informations. Right. So next one, let me finish it first. Dumpster diving. Dumpster diving is look at someone's trash. Tong sampah. This is a technique used to retrieve information. This type of information could, example, can be just a simple sticky note with a password and draw to the dustbin, and from there they will collect those informations. Not only password, could be any phone links, can be a how to say, can be a way to help attacker to gain access to the network. So they will collect all those informations. So don't simply, if you want to draw it away, cut small piece or use threader. The best way is use threader to thread all those relevant informations. Reverse social engineering here. Let's say a phone number can be emailed to the no, let me refresh my sentence. Because if we social engineering, if you call someone, you ask them password, of course they will not tell you, right? They might suspicious who is the person who called and why they want the password. So reverse social engineering is a same kind of attack, but they might spoof themselves like they are the, let's say the hacker will bring down the network first. And then they call you, they tell you, oh, I'm the technician from the company. Now we are doing maintenance. And in order to fix the problem, I need to get your password. Reverse social engineering. So they are doing some way where will make you believe the conditions and willingness in sharing the password. Okay, Kelvin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Many examples in the next slides. Okay, a lot of example given here. So please take a look. Take a look this. Number one, number two, and some other social engineering examples. Let me see. Confused person will call. Someone called with confidence, instruct computer operator. Yeah. Okay, the last one, take note. Shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing means someone look at the sensitive information through your shoulder. Do you understand? Sometimes when you are browse internet or you are accessing your financial website at the public space, tempat awam, you will not did notice there's someone who are sitting behind or 45-degree angle quite far away, but they still manage to view to see your pin that you are entering. So scary. You look at the last point, and sometimes even use binoculars or camcorders. So how to prevent this, Kelvin?
Very hard. Just hide.
Just type quickly.
No,
Cover
no,
it.
no, just hide. Cover it, hide. Don't let them see.
The ATM, when you're entering ATM pin, ATM machine, always cover. Cover with your body, cover with your document, cover with your handbag. Yeah, just to protect your harta benda. Common social methods here. There are a lot of methods can be used in social engineering. So please go through which one. Warning sign of an attack. They claim authority, stresses urgency. They will tell you how urgent of the informations. Flirting, macam-macam cara. Compliment, flirting, everything they do. With the aim, with the tujuan to get the info. So password cracking, they might use some tools to crack password. So how to prevent? Don't set a simple password where easily can be guessed. Like those passwords available in the dictionary, don't. And make combinations, capital letters, small letters, symbols, combination password. And also don't use the same password for more than one your accounts, because people tend to use the same password, easy to remember, but that will be the threat for you. Okay, after securing a password for user account and user level privilege to a host, hacker attempt to escalate their privilege. Sorry, I want to ask, do you have class after this?
No.
No class. Okay, I will do my best to finish. 3 o'clock already. Okay, hacker will review all the informations on the host. Those username, password, any information. Not only user ID and password. Sometimes based on our browsing history, they can guess who we are. They can guess what type of our working nature. More and more. Step number 5, gather password and secret, database, directory. Step number 6, install backdoor to pass through the authorized system to pass through. They might use reverse trafficking, port redirection. Those are the technique used for backdoors and backdoors and also port redirectors. And the last step here, compromise the system. So they are sharing with you step 1 until step 7. So one of the step we can how to say, we can not say help out, we can avoid, we can protect ourselves is through step number when they are trying to crack password, step number 3, 4, 5. So this one we have to think twice when we set up our password so that are not easily identified. So 10, practice. Avoid unnecessary web page input. Yes. Use strong password, that one we understand. Shut down unnecessary service every time before you log out. Please sign out first. Perform backup. If you are the employees, please educate your workers. Encrypt, use password protected. Write a security policy. Implement security hardware and software. Those are the popular method to protect our data. That's all for chapter number 2. Today we have done well. So next week we will learn asymmetric. What is the complete title next week? Let me check. I quite worry the number of the slides available sometimes. I have to check whether I can finish in the time. I think today our pace is not too fast. Right? Next week is about cryptography, symmetric cryptography. So also 2 weeks, I have to use 2 weeks. I hope, yeah, no problem. We are on track, no problem. That's all for my today. Please solve the tutorial. And also we discuss on tomorrow. If you have assignment question, please ask. Have you read the assignment question? Have you 3 discussed? Should I discuss?
Yeah, just a bit.
Pharaoh say cover yourself. Yeah. Please, 3 of you, you discuss first. If you have a question, please ask tomorrow. Right? If you have further question, we will dismiss for today. Sorry for use up your time, 7 minutes extra. Right? Thank you. Please take care, all of you.